Top gated shifter, ratchet shifter, or side gated shifter, which automatic shifter should you choose? So tell me, Mark, what situation is somebody putting an aftermarket floor shifter like this in their car?
Well, in a lot of cases, it's a transmission swap. You're going from, say, like a 2-speed Power Glide to a 4L80. Now you've got 2 extra gears and you don't have the detent in the factory shifter for those gears. Or it could be something where they're going racing and they need a specific lockout function to be legal and safe on the track. In this case, we actually have a very popular gated shifter. It's a lot like the factory shifter where it has detents. Some will use a push button or a separate trigger in the front or a T-trigger. In this particular case, this one actually lifts up to release the gears. That's park, and you're bringing it through your gears. Then you have the very popular ratchet shifter. Ratchet shifting, of course, is made popular at the drag strip. It's a street strip combination. You have your park, reverse, neutral, all those safe detents for driving. But when you get to the track, you bring it down to your ratchet, and you can, depending if you have a standard or reverse valve body, you can shift up or shift down with it. Lastly, you have the side detent shifter. It's very similar to the top gate shifter here, but the pattern is laid down horizontally. So instead of picking up the shifter or using some sort of trigger or button, on this one, you actually move the shift lever to the side and bring it down through the gears. So you have to move it to the side to get back into park.
So essentially you have your stock style upgrade shifter mechanism. The ratchet shifter is going to be more for like a weekend warrior or aggressive street shifting.
Correct.
And your side detent over here is very similar to this OEM mechanism. However, you get the opportunity to have this low profile housing and throw the boot cover in, various shift handles and knobs available.
Correct, yeah. When you look at, the average aftermarket automatic shifter, not a lot has changed in several decades. You have, this big plastic box, it jumps right out at you, right? So with the side detent shifter, it's a very low profile housing that in most cases will actually fit underneath the carpet. So at that point, you just have your polished trim bezel and your boot above the carpet. And this shifter also uses a standard 2-bolt shifter lever, much like a manual transmission, a modern manual transmission like a Tremec TKX. So in that case, you can fit any aftermarket shift lever to it, and hey, if you want, make it look just like a manual trans in your car. With these shifters, you're pretty much forced to use these shift levers. They're part of the shift mechanism, and the only thing you can change is the handle. You can do a knob or a T-handle.
So these are kind of a dead giveaway that you're driving an automatic. This one is a trick your friends, make them think that you did a manual swap.
Exactly. With this long shifter lever that we installed here, it's a perfect example of, say you've got a C10 that you did an LS swap with a 4L series, 60 or 80 transmission in it. Putting one of these down on your floor, you're going to be throwing out your back trying to reach down to it. With this, you can put the long 16-inch lever on it and just shift with a breeze going down the road.
Right, you get the leverage and the height that you need for
Correct.
like a pickup truck application or something like
Exactly.
that. So my biggest fear when I'm shifting aggressively through the gears is hitting first, second, third, and then neutral, or even worse, slamming it into reverse when you're at 6,000 RPM.
Yeah, or higher, right? So with the ratchet shifters, when you're in ratchet mode, it's like you're going up. Once you hit that last gear, it's not going anywhere, okay? So you actually have to command by pulling it up and going all the way to reverse or park. Now, when you come to the standard gated shifters like these two, this one's already in first gear, you bring it to second, you bring it to third. Oops, yeah, you can hit neutral. So, and it depends on the brand, but a lot of them will go straight to neutral. And then you have to command that lockout to go to reverse or park. And in this case, lifting it up and going all the way to park that way.
Right on. So if you're really aggressively shifting the thing on like a street car or maybe even a weekend warrior application, it's probably best to go to the ratchet shifter then so that you don't accidentally hit neutral, over rev the motor.
Exactly. That gives you that little bit of added safety with the ratchet shifter, whereas your detent shifters are more for, swaps and cruising applications.
Okay, got it. Great information. Thank you, Mark. Thank you for watching.